All right. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Daniel. Welcome back. It's Wednesday. Sorry, yesterday I was live. I had internet connection issues and technical issues, and there was a storm going by. I had to shut down and not post the live stream that I was trying to do yesterday. So I'm going to just go over the same live stream that I was trying to do yesterday. Data is pretty much the same, but we're going to take a fresh look at it today and yeah, talk about inflation, talk about what August inflation data came out to, pretty much month over month, year over year, and see how things are going for the U.S. economy and how the stock market has been doing for the past couple of days, and how cryptocurrencies are doing, and yeah, just have a good time overall, right? So you can see there on my screen, on the top left hand side, you can see the data that U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics put out yesterday in regards to inflation. So inflation data pretty much is released every month, depending on a survey of prices that people have been selling things at, on a day-to-day basis. And that pretty much just gauges how the economy is doing, how many people are spending, what kind of demand there is in the market for several different things. And that kind of drives the course of our economy, believe it or not. It's a pretty important metric to understand and know. So we're going to take a look at this economic news release here that the bureau put out regarding inflation. Before we jump into that, typically on an average, inflation in the U.S. has been around 2.5%, somewhere around that range, and that's considered healthy for the economy. That shows that the economy is moving in the right direction. It's growing year over year. People are making more and more money every year, and people are spending more and more money every single year. So that's a good thing. This year inflation has been on an upswing. Because of because of whatever has been going on in the world over the past year and a half at this point. It started with the pandemic when everything shut down in March 2022. I'm sorry, March 2020. And just to keep everybody afloat, just to keep the economy moving, the government started printing money to, one, bail companies out, and to increase the supply in the economy so that people have money out and spend money, and pay, buy groceries and buy gas and things of that nature. Um, but all of that money printing is expected to have raised inflation, which eventually did happen. We did see inflation when this year came around. So inflation in the beginning was kind of okay, but then as April, May, June rolled around, I think inflation numbers started going up, and we started seeing about 4 to 5% inflation year over year during those months, and that was kind of considered um, a lot. But it was similar to what the kind of inflation the U.S. was seeing in during the 2008 economic recession. So let's take a look at this news release here and try to see what the inflation was for the month of August. One, going from August 2020 to August 2021, and two, going from July 21 to August 2021, so month over month basis. Um, so yeah, so it says here the consumer price index CPI, which measures inflation, by the way, it increased 0.3% in August on a seasonally adjusted basis, after rising 0.5% in July. So basically, what it's saying is inflation going from June to July was higher. It was about 0.5% than it was for going from month of July to the month of August. So that inflation was down by about 0.2%, which is a good sign. It looks like it's um, you know sort of getting better, normalizing itself, but we wouldn't know until there is more data that shows that on a month over month basis, it's not going up that much. Um, and it does say down here that over the last 12 months, the all items index increased 5.3% before seasonal adjustment. So 5.3% is massive amount of inflation. Like I said, the average inflation in the U.S. is 2 to 2.5%. So 5.3% inflation is almost what, double to a little bit more than double of the average inflation. So it's kind of a lot. But yeah, let's take a look at the major factors that are causing the inflation here, right? So that the indexes for gasoline, household furnishings and operations, food, and shelter all rose in August and contributed to the monthly inflation. The energy index, which comprises, of course, of gasoline, increased 2%, mainly due to 2.8% increase in gasoline index, which is interesting, right? Gasoline by itself went up about 3% in the month of August, going from July to August. And I guess it was mainly because of people getting out of their homes more and more. Summer months, people want to go out more, people want to be outside, so people want to travel. And of course, with the concerns regarding the Delta variant, I don't think people have been able to hop on planes as much, as much as they were in the beginning of the year. And maybe that's why people took on, driving to, um, you know, say Florida, for example, for vacation, or California for vacation. And maybe that's why people were, using more gas, and that's what gave rise to this 2.8% uh, in month-over-month raise in gasoline prices. But the other thing also to that is probably the supply of gasoline. I'm not exactly sure where U.S. gets all of its gasoline from. I know it gets some from Alaska, some from the Middle East. But so that some of that gasoline may be stuck in containers outside of Los Angeles port. For those of you who don't know what's been going on, there have been major supply chain constraints, meaning that companies have less people that are willing to work, or that are working at their site, maybe because of the pandemic outbreak at their facility, or people just living on government unemployment benefits for the time being. And because of that, because of having less people on entry ports, they've been able to clear as many cargo ships or as many containers as they used to in the past. And there have been recent news where about 40 to 45 containers or cargo ships with um, a lot of stuff on them coming from China or coming from Asia, they have just been stuck outside of Los Angeles port for several weeks at a time. So that's causing major supply chain delays all throughout the US. And maybe that could be one of the reasons why gasoline has gone up so much in price. But yeah, the other things which I'm finding interesting is household furnishings and operations had some to do with this inflation. So I can't wait to get into more details of this one. So let's take a look here. Let's see if we can go into um, detailed description of what and why things went up. Scrolling down here, scrolling. Yeah, so this data here, right? So consumer price index for all urban consumers, US city average by detailed expenditure category. Let's take a look at that. That basically gives us a good breakdown of what has been going up and what has been going down on a monthly or annual basis. So as you can see there, all items index is 5.3% year over year. Food went up 3.7% year over year. Some of the food items like breakfast cereal was up 3% year over year, which is interesting, right? Because for a lot of people and we don't even realize when buying cereal that the price has actually gone up so much, because cereal's cheap, probably a couple bucks a box, and 3.6 price increase for a $2 item, doesn't necessarily ring a bell, does it? Going down here, cakes, cupcakes, and cookies are 3% more expensive. Come on, that's such an absurd data point to have, but yeah, it's out there, it exists. So it's good to know. Got to stop buying cakes and cupcakes for a while there. What else is up? So yeah, meats, poultry, fish, and eggs is up 8%. So I know some of this has to do with lack of employees, lack of labor at some of these meat plants, or also because of outbreaks. The illness or the pandemic outbreaks at these plants, and that's what's causing supply chain delays, and there is shortage of meat and poultry and fish in the market, and that's what's driving up the massive price increase in this category here. Keep going down here. Well, I saw there uncooked beef steaks is up 16.6%, and uncooked other beef and veal 14.1%. That's really significant, because that basically is the difference between someone being able to buy beef steaks so they can make dinner, and someone having to switch to something else, maybe ground beef or pork or other kinds of meat, because they cannot afford that particular type of meat anymore. scrolling here slowly. Let's see what else we can find. Eggs went up 9.9%. That's amazing. I pretty much try to eat eggs on a daily basis. Just try to get as much protein from the eggs as much as I can. And knowing that has gone up, eggs actually is the cheapest source of protein out there. So yeah, hopefully that doesn't get more and more expensive as the months go by. But I'm more interested in the home furnishings category here. Try to see what's going on with home furnishings. Um, See if I can scroll faster down here. Food away from home, yeah, food away from home meaning rents and stuff. That's gone up like 5% almost, which is interesting to know. And then of course we looked at energy before. Energy by itself is up 25% year over year. Gas is up 42.7% year over year. Yeah, which makes sense because I remember at the height of the pandemic last year, being able to fill up my gas tank at about $1.70, $1.80 a gallon, and now it's like upwards of $3. So that's really a massive jump there. Oh yeah, there we go. So household furnishings and supplies has gone up 3.3%. Um, Window and floor coverings and other items, those are up 0.5% year over year, and 2.3% for the month of August. But then right here, window coverings are up 17.2% just for the month of August. So that's an insane amount of inflation for 1 month. And I think most of this has to do with stuff coming from overseas, either China or Southeast Asia, or some of those Eastern countries, and maybe because of that, I think there's supply chain issues, and there's like we discussed, cargo ships are not able to make it to the port, and because of the port congestion, I think yeah, a lot of stores have shortages of window coverings now, and a lot of people cannot get their window shades anymore, which is a fascinating data point to have. But yeah, let's look down here. So oh, my mouse is not coordinating cooperating with me, but yeah. So living room, kitchen, and dining room furniture is up 12% year over year. So that's significant, right? So if you were able to buy a couch for say $1,000 last year, now that same couch would be worth what, $1,120 roughly. So yeah, so 12% inflation. Incomes don't go up that much. I doubt incomes have gone up at all over the past year, just because of the pandemic and just because of everything being shut down. But yeah, things are getting more and more expensive left and right here. So hopefully all of this starts normalizing soon, and um, hopefully all of this inflation numbers start coming down. Let's see, what else do we have. Laundry equipment is 11% in appliances year over year. So if you have a Samsung washing machine, or a Whirlpool washing machine, that's roughly gone up 11% over the past year. Again, one, due to supply chain constraints, and two, because of the massive demand laundry equipment probably has seen over the past year. I think a lot of people bought a new home, moved from one place to another, just to get away either from a high cost of living. All right, hopefully I'm back. Hopefully you're able to see me. I'm just going to keep going here. I'm not sure if I'm connected to YouTube and I'm streaming or not. But yeah, I probably am at this point. So yeah, so I'm going to keep going over this inflation data. So yeah, apparel has gotten expensive. Apparel has gone 4.2% year over year, 0.4% month over month. But men's suits, sport coats, and outerwear, that's gotten more expensive. That's up 7.9% from the month of um, July to the month of August. So for those of you who are getting married or are planning to get married soon and decided to buy your men's suits or sport coats or whatever during the month of August, unfortunately you paid a premium for it. So I'm not sure if that's gonna come down. I'm not sure if that's gonna get better over time, but it's just what it is at this point. Um, Things have been just all over the place in terms of inflation. So what else? Let's see here. What else do we have? Motor oil, coolant, and has got significant. So yeah, all in all, I think everything's gotten expensive. I'm trying to see if anything has gone down in prices over the past month here, and it looks like car and truck rental has gone down 8.5%. I guess that's because less people are traveling right now. But again, if you look at year over year, it's still up 52.6%, which is massive amount of price growth for car and truck rental. I guess it could be because a lot of most people weren't traveling around this time last year, and most people weren't able to rent cars around this time last year. So maybe that's why prices were rock bottom for renting cars and trucks around this year last time, uh, around this time last year, and now they have gone down for this much. So airline fares are down 9.1%. There I am. So hopefully you're able to still see me. I guess I'm not sure what's going on with my internet or with my OBS streaming studio, but I'm just gonna keep going again. So yeah, so couple things that we saw that have gone down in price, which is a good thing. Month over month. Hopefully things start getting better. So yeah, that's pretty much all the inflation data we have for the month of August. So let's take a look at how our stock market has been doing over the past couple of days, right? Um, so I have Yahoo Finance open in front of me. It should show up on your screen real quick here. I'm going to look at the Dow Industrial Average, Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is up 0.68% for today, which is good. But inflation data came out yesterday, so I want to see how the stock market performed yesterday because of the inflation data. So I'm going to just real quick open it up. Again, guys, if you see here, this was the bottom of the, well, right here, this was the bottom of the pandemic or the beginning of the pandemic last year. But then after stimulus money was announced, everything has been up significantly over the past year. And you can see here, um, it's up today, but it was down more yesterday, which is 9/14, which is when the inflation data was announced. Um, and I'm not sure how much this was down by, but looks like it was more down yesterday than it is up today. So that's something. But you can see the market sentiment that the market absorbed the inflation data that came out yesterday, reacted to it, and then this morning or this afternoon started buying back up again. They started buying the dip, and stock market started going back up again. So that's a good sign to have. That shows the strength of the stock market. Let's see how the S&P 500 was doing yesterday and today. This cooperates with me real quick here. So yeah, again, the S&P 500, this was around here was when the pandemic had just been announced and everything dropped like a rock. And then, once stimulus was announced, things started peaking back up. Slowly economy started opening up again. There were more stimulus checks, and now it's been at an all-time high for the longest time. And between yesterday and today, looks like almost similarly. So the market dropped yesterday, but how much ever it dropped yesterday, it pretty much corrected itself today by going back up. So yeah, so there you have it. So market's been doing great. Um, Not sure what's gonna happen, how much it's gonna keep going up, or how much it's gonna keep. I don't know. I'm not a market specialist. Um, oh, what's going on here? So, but if you look at it here, right? So I have the 50-day moving average line, which is the purple line you're seeing on your screen here. Every single time the market has been going down over the past, what, almost a year at this point, more than a year. It gets good support at the 50-day moving average line, and then it starts going back up again. So, in terms of entry points, I think, this can tell you, or this tells me, whenever I buy stocks, this is typically where I tend to buy. I try to keep a track of how the market is doing day over day, and yeah, you can see here, just barely touched the 50-day moving average line, went back up, barely touched again, went back up, and we've been seeing that. We've seen that happen so many times over the past year and a half at this point. It's just insane. But I want to take a look at how Bitcoin is doing as well. So Bitcoin, our favorite cryptocurrency, um, it's up by $1,000 over the past day. Let me see if I can plot the yearly chart on this one real quick. Yeah, there we go. So Bitcoin was down for a while there, then it went back up, and then as soon as El Salvador legalized Bitcoin last week, Bitcoin dropped really hard. Went down to about what, 44, 43,000, 42,000 even. No, I guess 43,000. And then now it's slowly going back up again. So right now it's at 48,000 to 42, which is a good thing. Which means that I'm making money right now because my Bitcoin average price is lower than 48,242. But yeah, I keep buying Bitcoin. Every once in a while, every now and then. I have a investing strategies video that I made for the month of September, and I'll link that below if you want to take a look at it. But in that, I said how I keep buying cryptocurrencies and how I keep buying the S&P 500 index every now and then. Just every now and then, whenever money is available, I'll just dump money in it. Um, there's a little bit of interest from my end in Ethereum, so let's take a look at that price for Ethereum as well and see how that is doing. So again, 1 year chart over here. So yeah, I think Ethereum, you can see here, it pretty much follows what Bitcoin is doing. Ethereum was down when Bitcoin was down. Now it's back up again, and again, when last week El Salvador legalized Bitcoin, Ethereum as well dropped like a rock. Oh shoot! And then now it's slowly going back up again. So it's pretty much Ethereum does what Bitcoin is doing. In just easy language there. But with this one also, you can see that this is the 50-day moving average, and the price just barely touched the 50-day moving average and started going back up again. I'm not sure how far up that's gonna go, but that's just how market trend, how I follow market trend, at least in that's how things have been going for a long time here. If you look back in the history, so yeah, so let's take a look at market cap for these cryptocurrencies. I guess Bitcoin sitting at, not even sure how to pronounce that number. I think it's what, 900 million. I don't know, but yeah, a lot of money. So a lot of people are piling in a lot of money into Bitcoin, which is great. A lot of people are piling in a lot of money in Ethereum, which is great. And then, of course, Cardano is number three at the moment. I started buying Cardano probably 2 weeks ago. Of course, when it was at an all-time high, and then it dropped again. Last I checked, it was $2.37. Right now, it's $2.48, which is decent, which is not bad at all. Dogecoin somehow doesn't have that much of a market cap as it did. I think last year or earlier this year, Dogecoin was, I think, amongst the top five cryptocurrencies by market cap. Now it's there. It's number nine, but it's nearly not as much as it was um, earlier this year. So yeah, but still, people have a ton of money piled up in Dogecoin. I wonder how much of this money is just owned by maybe a few people, and then other people like you and I, we probably have um, a few million bucks in Dogecoin in the market cap. So yeah, so there you have it. Um, um, you know, um, Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in on this Wednesday evening. Like I said, I try to do these live streams on Tuesday, but just because of all the technical issues I was having yesterday, I wasn't able to do it. And now we are here on Wednesday, one day after the inflation data was released. Hopefully, you guys got some value out of it. Hopefully, you guys were able to understand how the market works. We'll get new inflation data next year. Next month, and next month we were able to just sit down like this and analyze and see how inflation has been doing. And I'm hoping that inflation starts easing over the next couple months here. So make sure to subscribe, make sure to like this video below, make sure to share it with anybody that you want to share. Again, I just want to emphasize that I'm not a financial advisor. All of these things that I'm just talking here are my personal opinions and how I handle my personal investing and how I see the economy moving or the markets moving. So if you see any value from this, please feel free to comment down below and let me know what you found useful. And make sure to do your own research before you jump into any conclusions or start investing or do any of these activities here. All right, so make sure to like, subscribe again, and follow me on Instagram. The address is down below in the description, and stay tuned for more videos. Thanks so much for watching.